First at 4, breaking news on the indictment of former President Donald Trump, what we've learned about the charges, alleged hiding places, and the judge in the case. Hey there, Kim.
Hey, Karen. Well, if you're headed out to the Tigers game tonight, 75 degrees at 7 o'clock, upper 60s at 10, but we're still under an air quality alert. Improvement for the weekend with some rain.
We're also live over Ford Field. Pop superstar Taylor Swift takes the stage in just a few hours. The doors open very soon. We are going to take you there live. Paula.
An infected wildlife alert. I'll tell you which one of our suburbs is having a cell of raccoon distemper, canine distemper, and why this could be really, really dangerous for you and your pets.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. The newest indictment against former President Trump has been unsealed. We have learned he's facing 37 felony counts over alleged mishandling of classified documents. The special counsel just told us why he thinks this case is so important.
Our laws that protect national defense information are critical to the safety and security of the United States, and they must be enforced.
All right, Kimberly Gill joins us now to talk a little bit more about the very latest information. Kim.
Yeah, hi, Karen. Good afternoon to you. We know a lot more about this indictment than we did just a few hours ago. The documents show new details on exactly how prosecutors allege the former president mishandled very sensitive information. The 49-page charging document paints a damning portrait of how Trump treated classified information. Of course, the allegations still, though, need to be proved in court. There's an accusation the former president shared a classified map related to a military operation. The indictment accuses him of willfully defying Justice Department demands to return documents he had taken from the White House. We've learned one of Trump's aides, Walt Nauta, is now charged. Prosecutors say he was seen on surveillance video removing boxes from Mar-a-Lago. One startling claim says classified documents were kept in a bathroom, shower, a ballroom, and other rooms all over his Florida home. The indictment includes several stills showing documents scattered throughout the former president's home. We just got this video into the newsroom that you're seeing here. Former President Trump was denying any wrongdoing even before the indictment was unsealed. The special counsel spoke very briefly and did not take questions, but he's trying to persuade the public this is not about politics.
We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone. Applying those laws, collecting facts, that's what determines the outcome of an investigation. Nothing more and nothing less.
So I just want to tell you, I'm an innocent man. I did nothing wrong. And we will fight this out just like we've been fighting for 7 years. It would be wonderful if we could devote our full time to making America great again.
And some of the counts facing former president carry stiff penalties with maximum sentences of 20 years each. You'll also want to remember President Biden is facing special counsel investigation, too, over his own troubles with classified documents as well. That investigation is ongoing. We'll have more on all of this, of course, when you join us for Local 4 News at 5.
Yeah, it's all coming in. We're also hearing from his former Vice President Mike Pence, who obviously was his former boss. And he's talking today. He seemed to give some mixed messages before he heard the new details.
First, let me be clear. No one is above the law. I had hoped the Department of Justice would see its way clear to resolve these issues with the former president without moving forward with charges. And I'm deeply troubled to see this indictment move forward.
Right now, NBC News is also working this story on the new Trump indictment. The judge in the case is the same judge who favored Trump with previous rulings. Lester Holt will have much more on all of this at 6:30 on Nightly News. Okay, the other big story, the first forecast, air quality slowly improving here in Metro Detroit, but an alert has been extended for another 8 hours. We have been following those health concerns thanks to those historic wildfires in Canada. Here's Kim Adams with the very latest.
Continue to burn, but we are seeing improving conditions, not just here in Metro Detroit, but especially on the East Coast. In fact, New York right now in the good category, which is hard to believe after seeing those pictures from just a couple of days ago. Washington, D.C. now moderate. As we zoom in, though, here in Metro Detroit, we're still yellow, which is moderate, but you go just a little bit to the west of us and you get into unhealthy for some, which means people with respiratory issues already, and then also unhealthy for everyone in the southwest part of the state. So our air quality, though, in the immediate Metro Detroit area is at moderate. It can fluctuate, though, so we're still under an air quality alert until midnight tonight. Now, tomorrow, we should see that air quality improve. Temperatures get into the mid-80s. One warm day, and then rain arrives for the second half of the weekend, and I'll time that out for you in just a few minutes.
All right. Thanks, Kim. All right, Detroit is about to host two of the biggest concerts of the year as pop superstar Taylor Swift brings her Eras tour to Ford Field. The doors open in just about 30 minutes. Months of anticipation leading up to this moment. Megan Woods has been spending a lot of time with the Swifties in the past 24 hours. She's back at it right now. All right, do you have any? I see you got the bracelets on, Megan.
Yes. Oh my goodness, Karen. I have been to a lot of concerts. I've been to a lot of places, but I have never seen this much sequence and this much friendship bracelets. So I met a family who drove 2 hours. They're from West Michigan. They made 400 friendship bracelets, and not just with song names. You see it has Detroit and the date on there, and they say they started making these friendship bracelets back in March. Now, just to give you an idea of the atmosphere here, it's a lot more fans than what we saw yesterday. So you have some fans behind me at the merchandise booth. You also have fans over here taking pictures, and then these fans over here are in line to get in for their floor seats. So a lot going on, and as we've been standing here, people coming up to us and giving us friendship bracelets and just showing off their outfits. Now, if you take a view from Sky 4, you can see how long that line is just to get some merchandise. Now, the people who are in those lines, they don't have tickets, but they're just getting, souvenirs. And this is just a portion of the people who are out here this Friday night, because remember, there's a Tigers game at 6:40 tonight. So those people are coming in. They've been out here since early morning. We ran into some people who came here last night to stay overnight at the casinos, at the hotels. So a lot of these downtown businesses are seeing a lot of business today and tomorrow, one of the busiest weekends. So if you're planning to spend some time in downtown Detroit, give yourself some extra time, plan ahead, plan for parking. Reporting live from Ford Field, I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
Oh, it's going to be a night to remember. Really history making for all of these people going down in those tweens. A dream come true. We'll check back with you a little later. Thanks, Megan. As we mentioned, doors to Ford Field open at 4:30. That's about 23 minutes away if you're counting. Concert starts at 6:30 with some opening acts. Taylor Swift is expected to take the stage about 8 o'clock. Parking lots near the stadium are pretty much all sold out. So your best bet is to park further away, and then you could perhaps take the queue line or people mover to the stadium. We posted more on that logistical information at clickondetroit.com for tonight and tomorrow. It really is a busy weekend downtown, so make sure to plan ahead and, of course, have fun. City of Detroit is launching a new department to help people find a place to live. It's called the Detroit Housing Services Office. Detroiters who are at risk of losing their homes or apartments can call a new city helpline. That number is on your screen right now, 866-313-2520. 313-2520. They will be connected with landlords, legal resources, and financial help to cover the cost of moving. The idea is to prevent homelessness.
We know that residents who have housing insecurity are oftentimes not able to access the resources they need the most. Navigating, housing applications, housing availability, trying to find quality landlords may be difficult. And so this team will, on a one-on-one basis, navigate that whole process with you and for you as a resident.
People will be on staff to help people. This new office is being funded in part by the American Rescue Plan. Got an alert for you. It's being sounded in an Oakland County suburb because of a huge spike in the cases of raccoons that are infected with a highly contagious virus. Paula Tubman shows us dog owners are being asked to be on the lookout and also take some extra precautions for their pets.
So here in the city of Rochester Hills, they actually employ a naturalist. And that naturalist is deeply, deeply concerned about this anomaly of seeing so many very, very sick raccoons with canine distemper. This video of a Troy, Michigan raccoon affected with something 3 weeks ago was terrifying to watch. Julie Malati is the wildlife specialist with the Michigan DNR.
We like to get at least one animal from that area where the outbreak is occurring to confirm what is going on. And at the same time, we will test for rabies and rule out rabies. We haven't had a case of raccoon strain rabies since the 90s.
DNR wildlife experts say they don't know what this raccoon was infected with because when the animal was caught and destroyed, it was not sent to their labs.
Once we get an animal in from an area, from a species that's part of the outbreak, and we confirm it, then we can say that the rest of those are likely distemper.
Distemper, canine distemper specifically. That's what's definitely making the rounds just north of Troy in Rochester Hills.
It happens to a certain degree every year, maybe between 5 and 10, but this year we found over 40.
Lance DeVoe, the city's naturalist, will actually go into the community to pick up sick animals.
They start getting their eyes crushed shut. They even become blind sometimes. Will go into tremors and be shaking. They'll fall down.
And he has never seen an infection cell like this before.
And we've received calls from all over the city. We got them for a year straight, so close to one a week, and sometimes multiples in a day.
Canine distemper is a highly contagious virus. It is an incurable, almost always fatal disease that affects the respiratory, gastrointestinal, and central nervous systems. Pet dogs up to date with vaccinations will have this at the top of the list, but still pet owners in Rochester Hills are being asked to keep an eye on their dogs. Don't let them out to run by themselves, especially at night.
Distemper can be airborne from the animal coughing, and another animal could get it.
The fact of the matter is sick wildlife has to be removed from communities. But if your particular community doesn't have the resources to do that, it falls on the homeowner, usually to hire a private organization. And some people can't afford to do that or won't do that. And that in itself creates a problem. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Michigan's government website has a list of expert wildlife removal companies, but again, these are private pay companies because the Department of Natural Resources does not have the resources or the staffing to do those wildlife pickups.